Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with part 20 of our MotoGP 24 Let's Play. Yes, we return this weekend here to a track that I know. We're back at Motegi. Yes, it's been a long time since I've ridden or driven around this circuit, but genuinely, I love this place. I think it's one of the best and most underrated tracks in the world. That being said, I feel like the final chicane here is going to be absolutely lethal. But of course, if you missed out on the last video that went live on Friday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. We got a little bit of beef by the looks of it with David Alonso late on in the season, so we're going to continue trying to instigate that beef, and he clearly is not too happy with that as well. They're taking a look at the championship standings, 2 points in it between ourselves and Ruida, but Colin Vaya and David Alonso are closing in quite quickly here. Furasato still leading the way ahead of Joel Esteban, 2 points in it between Agura and Vietti in Moto2 and in MotoGP as well. The gap's also coming down as Marco Bezzecchi are now within 20 points of Jorge Martin at the top of the table there. So a lot to play for throughout the other two moto classes. It's looking like ours is fairly settled for Taio Furasato towards the end of the year. 5 races to go, though, of Season 1. We're still hoping that maybe a Moto2 team is going to want to pick us up in the future, so we need to make sure we keep delivering.
Hello from the Motegi circuit in Japan. We're live for the second practice session in the Moto3 class. Only the first 14 riders in the combined standings will go directly to Q2. All the others will have to fight for the 4 remaining places in Q1.
Well, I know I've said it a lot over the course of this season, but this genuinely, I would have thought, has got to be the longest circuit on the calendar. Motegi, it's a big venue here, and it's a half oval, half road course. I mean, they kind of overlap each other. I don't actually know if there's any version of Motegi that combines the two of them, to be completely honest. But yeah, this place is an absolute haven for motorsport. Like I said, I've driven it on so many games in the past. Weirdly, I don't think it's on Forza or Gran Turismo anymore, which is a little bit of a shame, because it was hugely popular back in the 90s and into the 2000s, and continues, you know, up there with, you know, Suzuka and Fuji as 2 or 3 of the biggest venues here in Japanese motorsport, although admittedly, Japan have got so many cool race circuits. Tsukuba as well, Sportsland Sugo, Autopolis as well has been a new favourite of mine from playing Gran Turismo in recent years. Japan just knows how to build a good racetrack. I genuinely thought lap times around here would be longer than they were at Silverstone, but apparently not. I guess it is quite a high-speed venue anyway. Don't ask me how I invalidated this first lap either, but a 2:02.5. So I guess we're looking around similar times to what we saw at Bud a couple of rounds ago. We're about to see the first few times then popping up on the board, so it'll be interesting to see just how far away we were with that opening lap. Down here as well, a bit like turn 4 back at Bud. You can brake a whole lot later than the game is telling you to. There we go, Joel Esteban on a 2:02.0. But of course, yeah, as always, free practice is just about getting ourselves prepared for qualifying. So we make our way through the final corner as well. I'm hoping we're going to find a little bit more time there. Maybe down sub 2. No, not quite sub 2. In fact, I'm not even going to beat my first lap time. 38 hundredths of a second in it. We go half a second slower than Esteban. Well, last weekend we should have had absolutely dominant pace back at Thailand. Was it Thailand? No, I think it was Indonesia, wasn't it? At Mandalika, I want to say the name of the circuit was. Could be the same story here today. 2 seconds up on my previous lap time. I mean, we're still waiting for all of the other riders to really start getting some competitive laps in, but this could be close to a sub 2. Threading the bike again through those final couple of corners. As predicted, that final turn does feel absolutely lethal. Left a little bit of time on the table, annoyingly. It's going to be a 2:08. We go pretty much exactly a second clear of Furasato. I'm going to try and do one more run, see if we can find any more, but that time might be good enough to see us straight into Q2. And out of the final corner once again, then we are going to clear up that run through the final sector. Another 2/10 up is going to put us almost down on a 2:05. Again, we open up the gap to a second over Furasato. Hopefully that should be us straight into Q2. Well, there we go then, end of free practice, and we were, yeah, second clear of Taio Furusato once again. I'll be honest, a bit like, though, what we saw last time out, I think that pace is probably not quite going to be the advantage we have as we move into qualifying. I would like a fight.
Good morning and welcome back to the track for the second Moto3 class qualifying session. Soon we'll see the 18 qualified riders take to the track and finally find out who will start in pole position in tomorrow's race.
Well, first of all, I feel the need to clarify. When I say I want a fight, I mean, you know, on the bikes, not just a fist fight with Taio Furusato or anything like that. Second of all, why do all of these circuits, why on earth have we gone to Asia during the rainy season? Like, what is up with that? But yeah, we haven't got the opportunity to get many laps on the board. I've got no idea how good the times are going to be now. But what is that? I've just been absolutely destroyed, and I think that was my teammate. It was Holgado. It's just absolute... I mean, we could have broken our neck. And I've gone again. This is not going to go well. I mean, there genuinely seems to be yellow flags every other corner at the moment, so I've got no idea how anybody is going to be able to set any decent qualifying times. Yeah, I mean, I got no idea what kind of we're going to be aiming for now. I've got no idea how hard we need to push until the AI starts setting good laps, as even more yellows out once again. Our first lap, yeah, really isn't going to be much of a benchmark after we were taken out. It's going to be a 2 minutes 23.5. That is not good. But how much time can we find through the first couple of corners? Because the rest of the lap actually felt pretty good for the most part. The answer is 12 seconds. 13 seconds up at the moment as we make our way out through the second part of the lap. I mean, what's weird as well on motorbikes, which I'm still trying to get used to, is the fact that you actually don't carry much less corner speed in a lot of places, because these, you know, where they are so grip limited, you know, they've got so much speed but not much grip through the corners. The wet tyres aren't actually that much worse for it. Obviously, yeah, you're still going multiple seconds a lap slower, but, you know, a corner that's easy flat in the dry is still probably pretty much flat in the wet. Well, I'm hoping then, if we can actually finish this lap, we're going to be down around the 2 minute 10s. That's pretty much exactly the same time as Tatsuki Suzuki's gone, so hopefully, at the very least, we're still going to be on the money. I mean, yeah, it is just about avoiding being around someone that's gone off under yellow flags. As, yeah, that's to 10.4, but pretty much even with that as we tip our way in towards the final couple of corners. Really just throw it in quite gently there. We're all on that throttle off the final turn. This is going to be mighty close, actually, between myself and Suzuki. Still a slim chance we could beat him in the championship. And we go second, quicker than him, but Joel Esteban immediately finds even more. But it doesn't seem to be raining much either around this circuit at the moment, but I'm not sure whether we're going to see track conditions to continue to improve as we get towards the end of the session. We are finding a little bit more confidence, though. 6 tenths up currently on this lap. That will be good enough to put us back on pole. Come on, power down at that final corner again. I think this is going to be a good improvement. 7 tenths up pretty much at the moment. And there we go. We join Esteban in the 209s. There's still riders falling off, though, absolutely everywhere. I tell you what, if that's the case as we move into the race, it is going to be chaos, as that's another lap ruined. Well, there we go. At the end of the session, Colin via David Alonso. Actually quite a mixed-up grid. Ruida as well, up in P3. Unfortunately, our time is only good enough for P7 in the end, but we do still find ourselves ahead of Furusato and Joel Esteban. We've just got to try and stay out of trouble if there's meant to be rain for the race, which I believe there is.
Hello and welcome to the far east of Asia. We are live from the Motegi circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto3 race. It's been a long weekend, but we finally reached the moment everyone's been waiting for. Just a few more minutes and the race will start.
Well, having a look then, ready on the grid. We've just got to try and finish this race in front of Ruida. That is the main goal from the team there. And also, we want to try and make sure that we finish the race inside the top 5. Holgado has a long lap penalty. I can only assume that was for wiping me out in qualifying. But let's do this thing. It's going to be a tough old race. We just want to look to survive.
The riders are all lined up on the starting grid. Just a few moments more and the lights at Motegi will go out to start the race.
Well, Colin Vire, we've never really been seen him being able to convert these good, strong qualifyings, but it is 10 red lights on the grid. It's a mighty long hole, but it is lights out, and away we go then. Hopefully we can try and get up to a fairly tidy start. My main goal, first of all, is survive lap 1, without falling off the bike there. There's plenty of dives coming in, and David Alonso's already fallen off. That took him genuinely 10 seconds into the race there, as everybody else trying to muscle me out. Luckily, we somehow find a little bit of breathing room as we make our way down in towards turn 2. I don't know whether this is turn 2 or turn 3, to be honest. There's so many double apex corners around this venue, as we're just getting again muscled out by some more aggressive riders behind. I mean, temporarily 3 right there. Joel Esteban. Oh, off into the gravel we go. Luckily, we'll be able to stay upright there on both wheels. And Furasato as well. There he is. We haven't seen much of him this year. He's either, well, he's usually been way out in front of me, hasn't he? I mean, what is that? I mean, I don't know who that was, but they were clearly trying to get the elbows out down the bottom of the hill. As somehow, yeah, we seem to be learning slowly but surely how to avoid the chaos here down the inside of about 5 different riders there. Temporarily, we were ahead of Ruida, as someone else has gone. That is Suzuki, so gives us a bit of hope in the championship. Now ahead of 3 of our main rivals, and we've got to join them. Love that. And we're going to be out towards the rear of the field as well, as Suzuki's properly out of it. David Alonso as well, way out. So, bit of a nightmare for everybody involved. And now, once again, we've got a lot of work to do. Oh, no. Oh, no. There you go. Yeah, red flag. Everybody's gone.
Out on track. The race has to be halted.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, every single time you're down at that hairpin, the AI were falling off, and they went and done it again there. We're only got P4. How? Excuse me?
Ready for the restart after the accident. The riders are good, and the track is safe again.
Well, I've got no idea how we've lined up P4 here, but I guess we'll take it. For some reason, there's no P5 on the grid. 10 red lights again. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go there. I've got no idea how many riders are out of this race, but again, we've still got the full 7 laps. So back down in towards turn 1. I've fallen off. I've wasted it. I've absolutely wasted our opportunity. Right back at the front of the field. Clearly, I felt the advantage the game gave me was untoward, and we're right back at the back. I think we've got 5 riders out, though, which is quite impressive. Well, once again, it hasn't taken us long to catch back up with the rear of the field, and once again, I'm expecting there to be chaos through this second half of the lap. I mean, we might just end up with it keep red flagging if people keep falling off down through the hairpin, but I mean, look at that, everybody taking very, very different lines to what we're taking, and well, they don't seem to be working out too well for the rest at the moment now. We're trying to look down the inside in towards this next corner. If the AI can do it, why can't I? Down the inside of a handful of riders. I'm already back up them right behind Ruida here. Are we going to see more chaos down into this corner? I just want to get myself on the inside of the circuit just to avoid people trying to fire it in. Yes. Yes, they go. 1 down at least. Everybody else, though, seems to have done all right with it. Right tucked up, though, behind Ruida. Hopefully these final couple of corners are going to suit us, but I must admit, yeah, it still feels very scary. Oh, not quite able to find the grip there. Weirdly, the grass seems to have more grip than the circuit did. No idea how the bike was suddenly able to rotate back in, but yeah, I mean, it is just about not falling off, to be honest, in this race. There's more dive bombs coming in down at turn 1. Are we going to see more riders falling off? Apparently not this time. Yes, we are. There's more crashes. This is the biggest race of attrition I have ever seen on this game. We've got to try and make sure that we beat Ruida here, but are we going to, again, see any more riders falling off down at the hairpin? For some reason, they like to brake way too late on the way in. But it seems to be the ones behind you that have more issues with it for whatever reason. Well, a little bit of contact there as Ruida tried to get a late apex off the corner. Any more crashes? Not this time, luckily. I think we might be down to the last few riders that can actually get round without falling off. I mean, it's how late the AI want to break down at turn 1 and how not particularly effective it seems to be for them. They just, I mean, they're definitely obviously able not to fall off as easily as I find it. I can see there, Ruida able to throw it in and still find the grip on the exit. And the thing that's annoying me in all of this, Furasato qualified nowhere, but was given a really high starting position off the restart, and has kind of not really looked back. Well, I'm still not convinced the AI's kind of approach of absolutely fling it into a corner and hope they can stop the bike is really working for them. It's down the inside of Riccardo Rossi. There's one man that loves a dive bomb in this game. Surely it's him. Oh no, we got more off. 3 more riders simultaneously falling off there. I guess that promotes us up inside the top 10. Scott Ogden is running up in P6. in this race. Staggered we've not seen another safety car, or not safety car, you know what I mean. Can you get safety cars in MotoGP? Is that a thing? I would have thought it's probably not. But there you go. Riccardo Rossi down the inside. And he's going to completely take himself out. Well, I think with how many riders have already come off their bikes today, I'm sure there will be questions raised as to how this race has been allowed to continue going as it has done. Championship currently provisional standings. We will be 1 point behind Rueda overall. But Furasato would have a 49-point gap over Joel Esteban. We need to try and continue to close in, which I think we are. Oh, we got more off. We got more off. Joel Esteban this time around, the next casualty. For some reason, the AI seem to be able to get back on their bikes much quicker than I'm ever able to. But Joel Esteban now has just thrown away the race victory and has handed it potentially to Colin Vire. I tell you what, if Colin Vire has problems, there's no chance we still couldn't win this thing. As we look at that, you'd think they'd learn. You'd think after all of those near misses or times they've fallen off that the AI might actually go, you know what, we'll calm down into that hairpin, try to brake a little bit earlier. Still, doesn't seem to be the case this late on, but we've closed up now on what can only really be called our top group, as we've got another rider's gone off. I mean, we're at 1.2 seconds up on the fastest, on my personal best so far. This could easily be a new fastest lap of the day and showcase that, you know, we have still got some really good pace right towards the end of this race. There is try and roll on that throttle at the final corner. Luckily, yeah, we're so far ahead of Rueda now that he can't really dive bomb me anywhere. And there you go, 2:09.2, new fastest lap. That just goes to showcase the pace we've got. Oh no! Oh, we got another one gone! That's Esteban! Joel Esteban now off this bike. So suddenly now, we're up at a P4 then, as we're able to get back past Scott Ogden as well. Furasato, somehow, looks like he's going to bring home a podium from this race, despite everything that's happened to him. And still he's going to open up his championship lead over his big rival in Joel Esteban here, down the inside of Angel Baqueras. We're going to go just about slip in front there of yet another rider, and it looks like Colin Vire, after I spoke about how he hasn't really been able to deliver in the races this year, today might finally be his day. Baqueras sends it in. Not too worried about that. We're able to switch him quite easily off the exit of the corner. Will we be able to close in, though? Oh, what is that? Baqueras sending it in. Luckily, we'll get round him. Will we be able to close in on Furasato before this race is down and out? You never know how crucial these points could be by the end of the championship there. And as you can see, as we make our way up through the S's, just closing in leaps and bounds on the home rider. Of course, I'm sure he and Suzuki wanted an opportunity to try and win this race this weekend. And as long as Colin Vire makes it through this corner one final time, surely he cannot lose this race victory. Let's stay and see. Furasato sends it in as well, just about able to keep it on the island there. Is Tyre Furasato, and he'll get the power back down on the exit of the corner. Angel Baqueras picks up a warning for track limits as well. I'd be impressed. There's a handful of riders that haven't today, but so many riders falling off. So many having issues. I can't keep track of how many actually haven't fallen off as this race has unfolded there. Are we going to be able to get any closer to Furasato, though, in these final few corners? At the very least, we're going to return to the podium. We've got more crashes going on behind, but at this point, I just want to try and make sure we stay on the bike. And for the first time in about 3 races, we haven't fallen off through the final corner. Up towards the line, we are back on the podium. I think that is very, very well deserved.
As the riders return to the pits, let's take a look at the final results of this Moto3 race.
Well, chaos then. 1 red flag and many, many retirements later. Colin Vire takes the win here at Motegi, ahead of the homeboy Furasato. We come through for P3, ahead of Scott Ogden there. A huge result for him and Angel Baqueras. Rueda, Alonso, Esteban, Munoz, and Fernandez rounding out your top 10. And having a look further down the order, Ralston, Balsri, don't really know how to pronounce his name, Detweiler, Watley, Farioli, Batelli, Holgado, Zuratuza, Suzuki, and Stefano Nepper, all failing to see the checkered flag. There 10 retirements from this race. It was absolute chaos this weekend. Championship-wise, though, it does mean we've closed in quite a few points on Tatsuki Suzuki, and we've got a 4-point buffer again ahead of Rueda. But Colin Vire only another 1 point back as well, so it is all still to play for lay on in the game. The gap to KTM Aho as well down to just 4 points, so hopefully we can try and prove ourselves as the best Red Bull team by the end of the year. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when MotoGP returns. Maybe we're in Thailand next? I don't really know.